You want all of them off?
No, y'all can have it. He just can't have it. I think y'all are over it.
I am associate member. I'm not a judge.
Okay.
What's up, my man?
His white shirt.
That's right.
We ready? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you all to Local 659. Thank you to the president here at Local 659, Mr. Alex Ortiz, and the retiree chair, Ron Ansara, for hosting this event today. I have the esteemed pleasure of introduction of a man who virtually needs no introduction, so he's not going to get much of one, because you all know him. It is my pleasure to present to you the best damn director in the UAW, Region 1D Director, Mr. Stevie Dawes.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to come down to 659, my local union. I want to thank the retiree executive board and active executive board for hosting this today. It's always a good day when you talk about money.
Yeah.
That always gets people attention when you talk about money. So I want to do with one quick thing. Is there anybody here that's retired out of ACC? The truck driving group? Okay. We were successful in getting that $500 bonus taken care of for them. So I've been on the phone most of the morning taking care of that. But yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Now I just got to work on the Delphi folks. So, and I'm not going to steal anybody's thunder up here today about bringing you some good news. We started out this year with some good news with, your $500 bonus, also in a jump in your Social Security, which is always good. And now this is even going to be some more good news. But I want you to remember something when we're talking about this. When you can envision that money sliding into that pocket, I want you to remember something. It didn't happen just because it happened. It happened because we in this state started with the redistricting. Then we started by showing up at the polls and voting so that we had a Democratic House, a Democratic Senate, and a Democratic governor. And by doing that, you are going to see some of the fruits of your labor. But I want you to remember something, that when this bill got passed, not one single Republican senator voted for it. And only one Republican in the House voted for it. And that was Mike Mueller. Now I got one question for him. How many of them are going to turn the money back? They didn't vote for it. But you know damn sure they're going to take it. And all I'm saying is thank you to the governor's office, Garland. Thank you, Senator Cherry, because they knew that this was a Michigan thing. It wasn't a political thing. It wasn't just for Democrats. It affects Republicans, independent, libertarians, whoever it is. If they're retired and got an income, they're going to get affected by this. And I think that was some doggone good work that we did in this Michigan, and we can't ever forget that. We got to continue so we can continue to do some of that stuff. And it gives me my pleasure to introduce my friend, your friend, a guy that he's getting older, I'm not. I can remember when he was just a little youngster running around these halls with his mom and dad. Our Senator John Cherry Jr.
And that's true too, because my grandparents were 659 retirees, so it was this hall. Thank you, Director Dawes, and thank you to all of you who helped make this moment possible by helping us get elected. Thank you for delivering a Democratic majority in Michigan. I'm proud to have voted for this legislation, and back in 2011, when Snyder enacted the retirement tax, the impact was very significant because you had folks who worked hard all their life, put together their nest eggs, and they did it under a certain understanding on what that was going to provide for them in retirement, and then the rule book was changed after they had already gone through and planned out their retirement. It was unfair, and it hurt folks. And right now, where we have pressures of inflation, some economic uncertainty, repealing the retirement tax was all that more important when we did it last year. We are in the first year of a 4-year phase-out. When that phase-out is complete, 500,000 Michiganders on fixed incomes are going to be saving about $1,000 each. And that is real money that's going to help make sure that they can put groceries on the table, that they can afford their medications, and that, you know, they can make sure that they're providing the help to their families that we know seniors do all the time. So I'm glad that this year you're going to be able to now reduce that by 25% in the first year of our phase out, and that once we get through, we will have reversed the unfair tax that was placed on folks just over a decade ago. And I'm very proud that we've been able to do this in a Democratic majority with a Democratic governor and a Democratic lieutenant governor who fought for this for many years. So I want to introduce to you our next speaker, who is somebody who was impacted by the retirement tax, and to talk to you about what that means to her, and that is Lynn Pruitt. Lynn Pruitt.
Thank you. No, I go to the grocery store, and there's just the two of us. The amount I spend at the grocery store is unbelievable. I can never get into a grocery store and walk out with less than $100 on my bill. Usually it's a lot more than that. We have 2 grandsons that play baseball, and we follow them every place they go to play. The gas is another thing that is really, really high for us. And just the fun things, going to the casino with all of you friends out here. I really, really appreciate that the government in the state of Michigan has done this for the retirees and helped us to save a little bit in our pocket. So I don't know how many people follow the government all the time. I do. And I appreciate everything that they do for us. We've got to keep Biden in the White House. We've got to keep the Democratic control in Michigan. And I would like everybody to really sit down and think about the things that they could do with this money that they have saved us. I would like to introduce to you our Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist, and I'm sure he can give you more information on what this is going to do for each of you.
right, 659. Good morning. It really is a privilege to be here, to be back here in this hall. And look, I came here during the campaign and told y'all we was gonna repeal this retirement tax. Came here and said that. And because of your work, like your director said, we got that done together. I want to thank you for the role that you played. The policy victories we get in Michigan, they're not victories of individual people. They are movement victories. And I don't need to go any place better in Michigan but here where the sit-downers call home to talk about the power of a movement, to put money in people's pocket, to restore dignity to people inside and outside the workplace. Know that you will be respected and protected and have what's yours. Thank you so much, UAW. Thank you so much, 1D. Thank you so much, Local 659. Thank you. You're right, Director, we are here to talk about some money, and I appreciate that too. My family appreciates that. I come from a UAW family. I usually talk about my father when it comes to this retirement tax. He's a federal government retiree, not a UAW retiree. He didn't have the privilege. But he complains about me about this damn tax every day. He's like, look, when are y'all gonna get this tax off of my bill? $214 come out of my pension check. And that's real money, as we talked about. But today I want to talk about my uncle. So I got an uncle who is a UAW retiree. I have several, actually. And his experience is actually very similar to Lynn's. He had 2 boys. You know, they got grandkids now. Let's go around and be with them. But that's harder when stuff is expensive. It's harder when, in order to get the snacks for the team, you go to a different store and it costs twice as much as it cost 2 years ago. But that's real. That's hard. But I don't think that decisions that Republicans made 12 years ago to take money out of your retirement should limit what you can do with your family today. And my uncle didn't think that either. And that's why he was on me almost as hard as my dad did. I talk to my dad almost every day. I talk to him like every other day. And so we had an opportunity to say that we are going to fix what they broke. We were going to fix what they broke. And they didn't break it by accident. They broke it on purpose. To take money from you, from people who live on fixed incomes, to give it to rich people in big companies. And the sad part about it is like that didn't work either. Except for the people who got that money in their pocket. Well, now we're putting money back in your pocket. Now we're putting money back in the pockets of people. Like when you agreed to your pension, there was a promise made to you about how much would be there for you. And to have the state of Michigan invent a way, a mechanism, they had to invent it. They had to change the Constitution. They do more than just change a few laws in order to be able to make that happen. But we took care of it. So now what that means is, as Senator Cherry said, over these next few years, your pension will be restored. Over these next few years. Now, granted, it's frustrating. I get it. They took it in one fell swoop. How come we can't get it all back immediately? I understand that. That's real talk. We have people here we'll talk through the details of what we've been able to do to have this ramp up rather than being immediate. But understand the reason that we repealed this tax because it should have never been there in the first place. And sometimes it takes a little bit more effort. Sometimes you got to be a little bit more thoughtful to fix something that people irresponsibly broke. It's like my kids, right? When my kids knock something off the counter, it shatters in an instant. But it takes a little bit more time to glue it back together. That's what we're working on and working toward. But know that Michigan will continue to be one of the best states in the Midwest and in the country for people to retire and call home. It will continue to be one of the best places in the Midwest and in the country for people to live out the best years of their lives. So you can fully enjoy, appreciate, and experience the opportunity to spend time with the people you love, doing the things you love, experiencing the states you love and the communities you love, and being fully supported by a government, a good government that respects you, that protects you, that makes sure that you have access to health and wealth at every station of your life, that makes sure that your grandchildren's education will be the best education that's ever been available in the state of Michigan, that makes sure that your children's professional and working lives will be working lives where they are respected at their workplace, where they can realize their full ambitions, that if they have a dream of starting a business, they can do so in Michigan and be supported, that all of this will be possible here in our beautiful state. That's all Governor Gresham, Whitmer, and I are here to do. To work with you, to work with our colleagues, to work with our allies, to make sure Michigan can be the best place to move forward in life. And this is all part of it. So thank you so much. God bless you, and enjoy that fully restored pension. You say it on the side.
This ain't for you, Ron.
One more. They want us to go
That's the only reason I'm standing here for this picture.